All right, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to figure this out. It's literally the connection. Otherwise, it wouldn't be an issue. But I'm going to make me smaller. If you guys want to see part one of this, what we've been talking about this whole time, then feel free. Sorry. I promise I'm going to get this all figured out. Oh, no. Did the connection go out again? Is it out or am I here? I'm going to lose my mind. Lose my mind. It says it's connected. Did I lose you guys again or not? Comment. Okay, Bradley sees me. I hear you. Okay. This is so dumb. Of course, like the first time I try this out, we're going to have so many issues. But you guys, hang with me. I'm going to get the hang of this. It's honestly working great, minus my connection. So we just got to get the connection figured out. Yeah, it's Monday. Dang YouTube. Okay, so I'm going to go right back into playing this video. If you guys have not seen the first part of this, go click on my other live. I'm going to save that one so you can watch that one. And then when it cuts out, come back to this one because we're going to just pick up right where we left off, which was the cops are in the house right now and they're starting to find like all the craziness going on. So here we go. I'm going to play this again.
He's been this way for weeks. A deputy.
So they found the chains.
His name and starts looking for the keys to unlock him. Back in the bedroom down the hall, where the two girls from Jordan's photos sit quietly, the deputy is directed to go to the closet, and there on the floor, he finds the chains.
Okay. I found the missing link. All right, let's
Well,
just
that place is a disaster.
Parents.
Yes, thank you, Jen.
Okay, with you. And sir, step over here for a second.
After decades of hiding their cruelty,
Bye-bye.
David and Louise Turpin are in handcuffs
Go ahead and come on out this way. You want to just walk into my car? Yep.
and walked out of the house.
Put her in a different car, please.
Like the neighborhood doesn't even look like a bad neighborhood.
Parents head toward police
You
cars.
go in their house, it just goes
Inside,
to
a
show.
problem. Deputies can't find the key to unlock the boy still chained to his bed.
Now, let me ask you,
Yes.
quickly, are there keys to the little locks? They're,
Yes.
okay, where are they?
My son and daughter can get them.
Okay,
That's in the
so
house.
the ones that are in the house, they know where they are?
Yes.
Okay,
Is that what this is about?
well, that's part of it, yeah,
Is that-
definitely.
You chaining your kids to your bed, that might be a little bit a
Ask the kids
part
for
of the
help.
reason why.
It's in the drawer that I was in.
They are directed to go back into the parents' bedroom. A chaotic mountain of trash. But as you
Look at this.
photo, is this a portrait of chaos?
Look at
Or
this.
derangement? By the way, there's a child in a crib who smiles and waves at the strangers.
You cannot have 13 children and have a house like that. Like, how do you even live like that? That's insane.
The missing key is found in mother and father's dresser drawer. The last child rescued.
So sad.
The last chain unlocked. Outside, a 17-year-old girl sits in a police car. It has been less than 2 hours since she climbed out of the window.
I saw them taking father, and I started freaking out. I didn't know what was going to happen at all. The person in the car was like saying, it's okay, like you don't have to like watch or see. Like he was like,
I'm so
it was
proud
really
of her.
nice. He was really calming me down.
That is
Deputies take all
not
13
easy.
children to the hospital. Children wasted by starvation with atrophied muscles, crushed by isolation and emotional abuse. Doctors and nurses give them food, clean rooms, clothes, kindness, love.
We were dehydrated. We were starving. They needed to do a lot of stuff to help us get healthy.
Do you remember the first things you...
Yeah, that's a good point. Marcy said that they all had new toys that they couldn't even play with. Like, there were boxed brand new toys that they couldn't play with. There were so many things that it's like, it's such a weird situation. And maybe I need to watch more interviews, but the parents to me seemed like, I don't know. We'll talk about it. Let's finish this and then.
There?
Yes, it was macaroni and cheese.
And enough of it.
Yes, it was good.
She's so
Coming up
pretty and
next,
cute.
inside a courtroom, the parents respond to the charges.
So the parents, what's crazy about the parents is they pleaded guilty, I believe. New clothes too. Yeah, like what was it? Like what were these parents doing? I know that the dad had said that he felt like his discipline, his intentions for discipline were, what did he say? I wrote down his quote because I was like, huh? He said, my discipline had good intentions. So even though they pleaded guilty, I still feel like he thought like whatever discipline he was doing to the kids was for good reason, which I can't imagine why you would think chaining your kids to the bed is okay. I know that she had spoke about like, Jordan had spoke about like her mom had choked her, they pulled hair, they threw him across the room. I mean, they did a lot of crazy things to these kids, and not to mention, they were literally starving. They were so hungry and dehydrated when they went to the hospital that it was like not okay. Parents purchase toys to torture the kids. That's horrible. So the crazy thing too about this case, sorry, I want to make sure I'm still connected. I know. So that's what's crazy to me. There are bits and pieces of this story, Courtney, because Courtney said that had the neighbors never heard screaming or wondered where their kids were. There was a point in time where I do feel like they were playing with some of the neighbor kids. So I don't think that they were completely secluded. I just think majority of the time, because I do think the neighbors came forward and did say something about they had like played with them for a little bit and like recognized that they were just like dirty and gross and just never showered and stuff. And so that was really weird. Okay, Charles, I'll check that out. You think the mom was abused too? Yeah, very well could have been. Like, it was interesting to me too, like, because with this story, a lot of the time the parents would go out of town and they would leave for like weeks at a time, but the kids never left. So they probably felt, number one, too scared. Number two, that they wouldn't be able to survive out on their own. And number three, like this was their way of living. So they were probably just too scared, too distraught about it. But I wanted to to play this is I wanted to play the apology from the parents and get your guys' thoughts on this. So let me play this real quick.
Count 1, violation of Penal Code Section 206, torture. Both defendants are sentenced to life with the possibility of parole, with a minimum parole eligibility of 7 years. Their lives have been permanently altered in their ability to learn, grow, and thrive. You have delayed their mental, physical, and emotional development. To the extent that they do thrive,
They don't know what love is. That's a good point, Jen.
Right.
I think you're right. The whole thing is so sad to me. What do you guys think of like liars? Yeah, it's like you don't treat people like that if you love them. You're not gonna like it's so weird to me. Like I'm wondering if there's anything there must be something obviously mentally wrong with you if you can sit there and say how much you love your kids but treat them the way that you did for so many years. Like so many years. Jordan said that she never knew which mom she would get. She said her mood changed often. I feel like I remember that her saying that in the interview too. I wonder if they were abused as kids too. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the parents were also abused. That a lot of the time that's the pattern, right? And the pattern just continues itself, which is so sad. I don't think that they're truly apologetic either. I think that she was probably obviously she was upset right there, but she's upset. They just got life in prison. But with the possibility of parole, which I hope that they never get out. I feel like they need to be in prison forever. I think the mom is bipolar or personality disorders. I could totally see that, especially with Jordan saying like she didn't know which side she would get of her mom. And I know that she did talk about a specific story where her mom, I can't remember exactly what it was. I want to say it was because her mom caught her watching like a Justin Bieber video because Jordan, she has come out and talked a lot about how Justin Bieber has really like influenced her and given her hope because she used to watch Justin Bieber videos like I guess when he first was coming out and stuff, and she was just totally inspired by him. But I think she got caught watching a Justin Bieber video, and her mom ended up like choking her almost to death. Like she kind of went into detail a little bit about that and how she felt like she was gonna die when her mom was choking her, and so that's so scary. Yeah, maybe Jeff Height. Maybe they asked the question, what would Jesus do? And then they did the opposite. That's exactly right. Yeah, I don't think they could actually be sincere in their apologies after treating all their kids that way for so long. It's like at that point, you don't feel guilty. If you felt guilty, you would not have. I mean, like we said, they had a 29-year-old kid there. So the age range was from 2 to 29. So this is obviously was going on for years and years and years. And they were all like, bless Jordan for like having enough courage to crawl out her window that night. She took a phone. She didn't know anything. She didn't even know what the street, like, you guys didn't see the whole, you could probably go back and watch like other videos, but in the whole entire 911 call video, they ask her like, what street are you on? And she's like, what do you mean? Like she literally had no idea what they were talking about. And they're like, well, do you see like a stop sign? Like the sign above the stop sign? What does that say? Like just very like no education, didn't know a lot, no vocabulary. It's so sad. Yeah, for sure. Sorry because I got caught. Phillips, Bam Bam Foodies. You know what, Alexandra? And that's why this case to me is so interesting because they did have phones in the house. And if you saw in the video when they were like, oh, we didn't have a key to unchain the kids, she was like, oh, well, the older kids know where the keys are. So the kids knew where the keys were to the chains. They had phones in the house. Like I said, they would leave for weeks at a time. And the kids would just be at home. Like, you would think that if they were going to escape, that would be it. But that's where it gets like so deep that you just don't know psychologically where these kids are by this point, that they're just too scared to like go out. Because I know a lot of people were kind of like, well, if their parents were gone for weeks at a time, why didn't they just go? Why didn't they just leave then? And I think that people don't understand that they're so like, this has been their life for so long and how scary of a thing that is. Yeah, they were petrified to do anything. Absolutely. People like that should not be allowed to have kids. You're right. And let alone 15. So they had 13 kids, and it was a family of 15. So the 15 was including the mom and the dad. But even still, 13 kids. Which, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the only two that have come out since all this happened is Jordan and her sister, her other sister, I think her name might be Jennifer, but the other kids have like kind of stayed silent on this thing and haven't really come out and done interviews or anything like that. But you'll see Jordan on a lot of interviews, and her sister is there with her a lot of the time. Yeah, brainwashed, totally. The sad thing though about the story is like I kind of wanted to like look into where they are now and what has kind of happened with them. So apparently there was like this fund that people were donating to, that they had like racked up like I think like over $600,000 to like help these kids get out of their situation, because at this point what do you do, right? They kind of go into the system, and the other ones are like they're adults, so they've never worked in their life, they've never done anything, and the only thing that I could find was that they've kind of, I mean, that they're still, number one, they haven't been able to access any of that money that was donated for them, which I think is crazy and insane. I just want to read this. Much of the $600,000 in private donations have been kept from the siblings. County officials, citing court-ordered secrecy, have refused to provide ABC News with any information about the trust, including how much money has been distributed to the Turpin children and the justification for refusing some requests for financial assistance made on behalf of the children. After their rescue, some of the younger siblings spent years in foster homes where there were accusations of child abuse. And so that's the thing that makes me so sad about this is even after, these years of abuse, they got put into the foster care system, and a lot of them were abused there as well, which like makes me so sad because they've like endured so much pain and heartache and torture. So it says homes where there were accusations of child abuse, including an accusation that at least one of the Turpins was a victim of such abuse, for which charges have been filed. 2 of the older children have at times had to resort to couch surfing, one advocate said, and in at least one case, another was assaulted. I don't really have a way to get food right now, Jordan Turpin. So this is Jordan saying she doesn't really have, this is when she was 21. I don't really have a way to get food right now. She told ABC News. Diane Sawyer, when they met in July, at the time, Jordan had just been released. She says without warning from extended foster care with no plan for food, health care, life skills, training, or even shelter. Well, where I live is not the best area, her sister Jennifer, 33. So Jennifer is her sister. She's 33. So it's so sad because it's like they're almost like, oh, like you wish there was some way you could help them, because they're literally basically saying, okay, you're good now, like go live your life, go find something, like go try to survive basically, and they have no means to do so. And the fact that like money is being held from them is kind of crazy to me too. So I don't know, I gotta look more into it to see if there's like any way to donate, help. I don't know, I have not heard anything. So oh, Jordan has an Instagram. Marcy, do you mind writing what her Instagram is on here, her Instagram handle, so we can follow her? Jen Bowles says that the parents will go up for parole in a few years. Life in prison doesn't mean life. It means 20 years at least. Yeah. I really hope that they don't get out on parole. After all those years, they deserve to literally rot in jail. How are they? That age 29 years old. And a 2-year-old. I don't know. And I don't know, like I'm assuming that the younger ones, like the 2 through whatever, are probably still in the foster care system, and just it's such a sad situation, you guys. These are the kind of cases that you hope and pray that like they come out of it and it's like, happily ever after. And this one just seems like there's just still so much pain and heartache going on, and all caused due to these stupid parents that couldn't take care of their kids. Yeah, exactly, Jen. It's like opening the cage and sending them out into the world. That's exactly what it's like. It's awful. Yeah, after 18, they cut you off. Ugh. there's something we got to do, you guys, about the foster care system and like just situations like that, because there's so many situations like that where kids are taken from their homes where they've been abused and they're put into the foster care system and are just like, it's a mess in there too. And then they're let go at 18 and they become homeless, they become drug addicts, they become, like all these different things. It's like, man, there's got to be a better system. Yeah, I had a friend who was pushed out after she turned 18. Ugh, that's horrible. That just makes me so sad. It's awful. Okay, I'm going to just make this bigger. Sorry, you guys are going to see a weird screen. This is all I know how to do it. So, yeah. So that's kind of the case, you guys, about this. I just was very intrigued by it because I was like, oh, man, that's horrible. Like, how can 13 kids be locked up like that and no one have any idea? Like, neighbors obviously saw them. And like you guys were saying, if you look them up, they do have pictures of them going to Disneyland and things like that. So that's another interesting thing is their parents did take them to do like certain things. But I just think the majority of their life was like stuck in that house. So do a better job of taking care of each other. Yep, absolutely. Marcy said Beth_B_20 is her TikTok, and she's gonna look for her Instagram. Yeah, because I would love to kind of just keep track of where she's at. I know she's done a few interviews, which I'm glad that there's like publicity coming, because like I said, I've never heard of this. Even in 2018, I didn't hear about this case at all until she did this special interview with Diane Sawyer. Imagine the resilience of those poor kids. They are so strong. It's so true, Jen. Like when I watch her videos of her in these interviews, like you would think that she would be like, I hate to say like weak, but like, you know what I mean? Like you would think that she would just be broken, which I'm sure she is obviously in certain ways. But the way that she talks and the way that she interviews, she has so much strength behind her. Like you can see it, you know what I mean? And so I do think that, hopefully they can overcome everything they've been through and just find the strength to like persevere and figure things out. I wish we kind of knew what was going on with the other kids too, but just because they have decided to stay out of the public eye, like we don't really know what's going on with them, which is really sad. So this is far more common than you would think. Yeah, I believe it 100%. All over the world. Yep. It happens all over the world, you guys, and like even stuff like this, like with sex trafficking and girls and women who are saved from sex trafficking, same thing. Like their life has been that for so long, and then they come back to the real world and they have no means to survive. I just wish there were. I mean, I'm sure there's programs and different things out there like that, but I just don't think that there's enough, and I wish there was a way to figure that out. Charles says that he was an engineer. He could Photoshop them in Disneyland. My brother knows how to do that too. Hey, that could have been. I'd be curious. Maybe I'll watch more of her interviews and just see if she ever talked about going to Disneyland or doing anything like that. I would be curious. So I hope those kids don't see their parents again. You know what? That was my question too, Mrs. Alma, because I know that at the court hearing, a lot of the kids spoke. And kind of read their statement to their parents. And I think there was a few of them that told their parents that they forgave them, which is like huge of them, right? To be able to forgive them for all of that. But I'd be curious if any of them have gone to visit them while they've been in jail, or I don't know, because sometimes you have mixed feelings because you're like, oh, those are my parents, even though they treated us that. You know what I'm saying? Like those two people are the people you've known your whole life. Like, I'd be interested if any of them ever went to go visit, even if it was just to like get answers to their questions or, you know, anything like that. I don't know. They renewed their vows in Vegas. Oh, you're right. I do remember her talking about in the interview. The parents were renewing their vows and brought their kids with them for that. I do remember that. So I don't know. We'll see, you guys. But anyways, I'm going to get off here since this is like the parents are in constant contact with each other. I know the older kids have a choice to say no, but the little ones, I know, you guys, it's all so sad. But it just intrigued me watching this interview, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go live. I got to go live and talk about this. But like I said, this is my plan for this channel, is to hopefully go live at least once a week, hopefully a couple times a week, just talking about different topics. So you guys send me any ideas, anything going on in the world. Jen, I will check my Instagram for, I don't know how to say the city, but the whole crazy parade, the guy driving through, that whole thing was so sad, and I feel like didn't get hardly any news coverage. That was awful, awful, awful. So, and you guys, we can talk about happy things. We can talk about different things going on in the world. And I am planning on still doing shows so that we can watch shows together. I know Virgin River just wrapped their filming, so we will hopefully hear of a date of when that will be coming out. But like I said, I've got to do a test run of the Netflix watch party. You can do watch parties through Netflix, so I'm trying to figure that out so that we can all watch shows together and then discuss, and there's like a chat open the whole time so we can be like talking about it while we're watching it. And I just thought that would be fun, just to feel like we're watching it all together. So I am figuring that out. And Jordan Turpin 20 is her Instagram. So thank you, Marcy, for checking into that. I'm gonna go follow her after this. I'm curious how things are going. Yes, I agree, Joanna. We do need something happy to watch for sure. I need to figure out what shows are out there. So you guys, honestly, bombard my DMs on Instagram, like with shows, with topics, all of the things, so that I know what you guys want to chat about on here. Sweet Magnolia Season 2 will drop in the spring. Oh, okay, you guys. I almost feel like I need to rewatch the first season because it's been so long. I did not know it was dropping in the spring. That would be awesome. Nancy, the new I know I said I was going to get off, but the new Hawkeye show, Braden and Elijah have been watching it. I have not seen it yet, though. Is it good? My boys like it. A Million Little Things is coming back in January. I still need to finish A Million Little Things. Like, I think I missed the whole last season. Maybe bits and parts of it. I can't remember. But lots of shows, lots of things that we can watch together. I'm just trying to, I'm going to have to do a test run of the Netflix watch party to see exactly how it works, and exactly, because from what I've heard, the Netflix, everyone watching first would, number one, have to have Netflix, and number two would have to have the party extension. I think it's free, but you just have to like download it or something. Anyways, I'm going to figure it out so that we can do it all together, and I just think that would be so fun. So, okay, guys, I'm going to hop off of here. If you did not watch the first video of this, remember the live kind of broke up, so you can go watch the rest of the video if you didn't see it. That's still up on my channel as well. But, guys, so fun. Okay, I'm excited to get things going and continue these conversations and chit-chats. But until then, you guys, hopefully, what is today, Monday? Hopefully later this week I will also be going live. I will be updating on my Instagram and on the communities tab through here to kind of keep you guys updated. Sometimes I'll just randomly come on here and just pop up. So make sure you guys have your notifications on so you know when I go live. And no, Callie, we did not. Because I still haven't seen it. So I actually should go watch that right now while I'm doing laundry. So maybe I'll do that. Yeah, we're getting back to it. I promise. We are getting back to it. All right, you guys, I'm going to go fold some laundry, do all the things. But thanks for joining me, and we'll chat later. Hopefully later on this week. Bye, everybody.